Imagine rushing to the airport, ready to board your flight, and suddenly hearing it's cancelled. What on earth happened? We'll uncover all the hidden reasons planes stay suddenly on the ground. You might be surprised. Storms alone once grounded over 5,000 flights in just 4 days this July. Or consider Boeing 737 MAX. It was grounded worldwide for over a year after two crashes killed 346 people. We'll dive into these real examples and more, from severe weather and safety checks to staffing shortage and geopolitical airspace closures, to explain why your plane might not fly without blaming sleepy pilots or UFOs. Regulatory agencies like the FAA or DGCA can ground an entire aircraft model or fleet for safety. For example, Boeing 737 MAX was ordered off the skies worldwide after two fatal crashes tied to a faulty flight control system. Even a single overdue inspection can stop a plane. In 2025, India's Aviation Authority grounded an Air India jet when a routine emergency slide check was found overdue. Big storms, snow, or volcano can shut down airports and preemptively cancel flights. In mid-2025, powerful summer thunderstorms swept the US East Coast, prompting the FAA to ground or slow flights at almost every major hub on the East Coast. Over 5,200 flights were cancelled in just a few days, and passengers ended up stranded on taxiways as heavy rain grounded crews. Any serious malfunction can ground a plane until fixed. Airlines routinely perform inspections and maintenance checks. If a critical system is broken or overdue for service, the plane is parked. For instance, a worn-out landing gear, faulty oxygen system, or even software glitches like Boeing's MCAS in the MAX can trigger immediate grounding. In one case, regulators found an overdue inspection on an aircraft's emergency slide system, and the airline had to ground that jet until the fix was done. Sometimes it's not the plane, but the people. Airlines worldwide face a shortage of pilots, flight attendants, and even ground staff. After pandemic layoffs, when too few crew members are available, flights must be cut. Even air traffic control staffing constrained flights. Example, Newark Liberty Airport suffered delays when the FAA ran low on certified controllers. The bottom line, if there aren't enough qualified people to operate or support the flight, it won't leave on time or at all. Finally, outside forces can shrink where planes are allowed. War, military exercises, or even major drone scares can close the airspace. A recent example, in June 2025, escalating Middle East tensions led countries like Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar to temporarily shut their skies. Airlines instantly rerouted or cancelled dozens of flights. Air India suspended all its routes to the Middle East, Europe, and the US East Coast in one day. Huge swaths of normally busy routes become ghost towns of airspace due to safety concerns. Even ongoing wars have effects. Much of Russian and Ukraine airspace remains closed for many carriers, forcing detours that can cancel or complicate flights. Let's start with the eye-popping example. The Boeing 737 MAX was introduced with a new safety software MCAS, as quickly became a bestseller. But two similar crashes in late 2018 and early 2019, Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 killed 346 people in total. Within days, regulators worldwide grounded all MAX jets. This grounding lasted from March 2019 until late 2020, making it one of the aviation's biggest safety actions. It wasn't a weather or pilot issue, it was a design maintenance flaw. Boeing and the FAA then spent over a year redesigning MCAS and retraining the pilots before any MAX could fly. This shows how safety comes first. Even a new jet can be ordered off the runway if it's deemed unsafe. But groundings don't have to involve tragedy. Airlines themselves often pull aircraft out of the service at the first sign of trouble. For example, if an engine light goes off or a sensor reads wrong, the captain won't fly until it's checked. The plane is grounded until mechanics certify it's fixed. In one recent case, an airline discovered during the pre-flight checks that an engine was cracked. The flight was cancelled on the spot and the aircraft got a thorough inspection. Next up, weather. If the skies get ugly, flights usually stay grounded. Thunderstorm, heavy snow, dense fog, or volcanic ash, clouds are classic cases. Flights near lightning, especially dangerous if lightning or hail is in the area. Ground crew stops all boarding and aircraft fueling until it passes. Even after a storm moves on, runway can be wet and visibility can be low, forcing delays. A concrete example: one recent summer storm system in the US triggered massive cancellations over just a few days. More than 5,200 flights were cancelled nationwide due to severe thunderstorms. On one day, LaGuardia Airport cancelled 35% of its departure. Newark nearly 30%. Airports on the East Coast saw more than a quarter of flights scuttled. Out of Washington's Reagan's National, thunderstorms also ground equipment. If the lightning is nearby, even baggage loaders and fuel trucks must be stopped. Further delays departures. In short, bad weather can create a domino of delays, and regulators and airlines will rather keep planes safely on the ground than risk chaos of flying through a storm. Have you ever wondered why after a storm, even flights to non-affected cities get cancelled? It's because planes and crews got tied up. If a storm delays a flight in Phoenix, that jet might not make its next scheduled out of Atlanta, causing a chain reaction. This is why morning flights statistically run on time more often. Aircraft are complex machines that need constant care every few days or after a set of numbers of flight hours. Each plane undergoes scheduled maintenance. This can range from minor check oils to major inspections. During these checks, mechanics might discover something that grounds the plane. It could be a hydraulics leak, a pressure anomaly in a tank, or even a peeling paint spot on the wing. Any issue deemed critical by the safety standards mean the plane stays on the ground until fixed. For example, every plane has an emergency slide to evacuate passengers in a crisis. That slide system has a strict inspection schedule. In 2025, India's DGCA performed a routine audit of Air India. They found that one aircraft had skipped its emergency slide inspection, even though it sounds small. The lapse violated safety norms, so DGCA immediately grounded the plane until the slide was checked corrected. Sometimes the problem isn't mechanical at all, it's human. Airlines and airports need pilots, flight attendants, mechanics, ground handlers, air traffic controllers, and more. In recent years, many carriers have faced staffing crunches after the pandemic. Thousands of experienced pilots and crews retired or jumped ship, and airlines have become scrambling to hire and train replacements. The last big category is when governments block the sky. This can happen due to conflict, military exercise, or other hazards. A timely example: in June 2025, tensions flared between Iran and the US after missile strikes were exchanged. Several countries quickly closed or restricted their airspace. Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait all halted flights briefly, and Dubai suspended operations to clear the sky for safety. Qatar Airways and Emirates had to reroute planes or cancel flights at a moment's notice. So next time your flight gets delayed or cancelled, it's rarely random. Planes are grounded mainly for safety and operational reasons. Everything from freak weather to a tiny maintenance issue, to having no crew, to airspace closures far away. It's a complex system, but the common theme is better safe than sorry. We covered a lot: Boeing 737 MAX fleets parked after crashes, thunderstorms snuffing out of thousands of flights, routine inspections pulling jets from service, crew shortages slowing airports, and even wars wiping out flight paths. Each reason ultimately boils down to safety regulations or logistics. Knowing these factors can even help you plan better. For instance, booking early morning flight can avoid afternoon storms and ripple delays. We hope this demystifies why aircraft get grounded. If you learned something new, fly back for more. Hit subscribe, give us thumbs up, and drop a comment if you have aviation questions. Clear skies and safe travels, everyone. Call to action: if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe to DP Aviation for more aviation explainers, and let us know in the comments what airplane topic you want us to cover next.